Well, hey everybody. Welcome to Levels and Losers. Woo! Yeah.
I'm Jared.
I'm George. And this is where we talk about some of ours and yours favorite characters from movies and comics and video games and stuff.
And we just discussed what alignment they would be if they were D&D character sheets. So, for today's character, in honor of a new movie that is coming out when we started filming, we decided to do a very popular character.
Oh yes, Kylo Ren. The new kind of bad guy, kind of, maybe, bad guy, main antagonist in the, the new Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
and, but particularly we're going to look at him, in The Force Awakens.
Yeah. And we do want to mention, we plan to do one on this next movie, Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
It's just when we started filming, it had not come out yet. So hold this based on only Force Awakens.
Yes.
That's all we've got to go
Hold on to your seats when the next one comes out, because we'll be making a video pretty soon after.
And we're both really excited about that.
You're right. So
not just the one we're doing.
Right. But Kylo Ren, is he good, bad, lawful, chaotic? Like, if we were to make a D&D character sheet, what would his alignment be? Yeah. Let's talk about that and let's figure it out. Let's dig into it.
So on the good versus evil spectrum, I just gotta say, let's take a look at the very first few minutes where his stormtrooper brigade comes in and butchers that entire settlement, rebel base, whatever it was, and he takes the one prisoner and decides to execute him because that guy got in his way.
Yeah. This guy is intense.
Oh, yeah. At that point, you don't know much about him other than the fact that he is obviously not a good guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's willing to eliminate anyone who stands in the way of his goals. And throughout the course of the movie, his main goal is getting to Luke Skywalker by whatever means necessary.
And there's that cool Force thing where he's like, you're like, whoa, this guy is pretty awesome. But then that's like, your thoughts are like, well, evil. My evil radar is like going off here, for sure. And it's like, and then there's like throughout the movie he keeps kind of doing this, right?
Yeah.
Whenever he wants to try to get information or going towards his like own personal goal or whatever, right? He kills people. Yeah. He doesn't care.
Although I do have to admit, he's got a higher captain success rate than Darth Vader ever did. Mostly because he decides to take it out on machines than people. So maybe he's got a little bit better control.
And his people are smart enough to walk away when he's angry. Like Darth Vader's people, they're in the line of fire.
Yeah, Darth Vader. Apology accepted. What would you have done to him if you hadn't accepted an apology?
Yeah, right. For real though. And then another evil thing, the little bit of background, through Rey's like Force vision, like other hints throughout the movie, like where he kind of like exterminates like the Jedi Order that Luke's trying to set up, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like similar to when Anakin did it, right? And it's kind of like I like that parallel, right? And
I think it's a very aptly drawn parallel. Like, he's trying to become just like Darth Vader. Yeah. Hence that little shrine thing that honestly is kind of freaky. I wouldn't worship a head. But, he does.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. But it was necessary. Let's get that for story. Let's get. I had to bring him in there somewhere. Anyway, but like evil radars going off over here. But I don't know. But at the same time, there could be some good things about him. I don't know. What do you think? Is there any good about him?
Well, when trying to put it that way, I do have to admit, when we go back to that scene with him in front of the Darth Vader helmet the first time, he is talking to the helmet because he is struggling. Struggling specifically with he feels the pull of the light side. Mm-hmm. And throughout the movie, like, he seems to struggle with some of his actions because... Like, when it comes to, he realizes he's going to have to kill his father, but he even goes up to his father and maybe that was a ruse, but it seemed like he was genuinely struggling with the idea that he had to kill his father.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until that last moment when the deed was done that he really seemed to accept the fact that he has killed his father.
Yeah, and, being specific with the talking helmet scene, he's like, he feels that pull from the light, right?
I feel it again. The pull to the light.
Exactly.
I mean, like, if he was entirely evil, would he even feel that?
Yeah.
Probably not. Like, I guess he has some good stuff going on because he does have that pull, but he is resisting, a little bit, right? It's hard. I'm trying to think about it, so, I don't know.
And, like, going back to, like, the argument for good, because we don't want to just say he's downright evil and be very opinionated about it. Like,
yeah.
Another good point to bring up for the good argument, no pun intended, is that let's think about his interactions with Rey. As soon as he realizes who she is and that she can wield the Force, he goes out of his way to save her, to defend her against Snoke. Like, everyone else is saying that she just needs to be put to death. But what does he do? He's like, no, I can persuade her. I can teach her the ways of the Force. She'll be a powerful ally.
Yeah.
Like,
because, like, Snoke and the First Order will want her eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of, like, doesn't follow that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't feel like... I guess maybe not feel that it's the wrong thing to do, but it's like... he just doesn't do it, and for his own purposes, right?
Yeah, and it's like...
So, yeah.
And so it's like he goes out of his way to save her. So, and many people speculate that that's because he has some sort of connection with her. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. Though we don't have enough to go off of yet. But let's face it, like, the only reason that he lost his fight with Rey is because he had her right where he wanted her. He hadn't actually hurt her yet, but we all knew he was better with a lightsaber and with the Force. And then he stops and takes a second to try and convince her one last time, saying, I can teach you the ways of the Force.
You need a teacher! I could show you the ways of the Force!
Kind of like, an olive branch. Like another chance.
Like, I've beaten you, but I don't want to kill you.
Exactly, because if he was downright evil, it would just been like, take her down in a few minutes.
Yeah, because like, he'd already offered her multiple times to teach her. And yet he seems so set on actually convincing her rather than killing her.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll learn more about that in the next movie, but that's just what we see, in this. And thinking about those different arguments, it makes me think like he's just a guy trying to find out who he is. He's trying to
seems to be really struggling with that.
Yeah, who he is as a person. Is he good? Is he bad? I don't know. I think we kind of all deal with that, right?
Yeah.
So.
But one argument I would really like to make that could be able to flip this scale.
Yeah.
Because I honestly cannot say he is neutral. Like, maybe we've made some good, strong arguments for both, but the fact of the matter is he is evil for one fact alone. Mm-hmm. Even in that scene where he is saying he's being conflicted, he feels the pull of the light side. Yep. Even when it comes to the fact that he was struggling with the idea of killing his father. Even when you throw in the fact that he's willing to spare Rey so that he can train her, do whatever. Maybe he has his own purposes, but we know he's trying to spare her. But even taking all these arguments into account...
He's building this up.
He actively chooses to do evil. The main reason he went to that shrine into Darth Vader is he wanted Darth Vader to show him the power to convince him again to stay on the dark path. He actively chooses to kill his father in that scene. He actively pursues Luke Skywalker to bring him down, regardless of that pull he feels. And we all know that he's not necessarily trying to pursue Rey because it's the right thing to do, but we all believe it's because he has his own agenda. The reason that I say he is evil is because even if at his core he is not, he is actively pursuing the evil choices for the sake of doing the dark side.
So it's like, he has this pull from the light, and he is like doing some neutral good things, but ultimately he chooses. Mm-hmm. He makes the choice.
Yes.
And really our choices determine our destiny.
Exactly.
You know? And so, like, yes, you know, he is struggling with his choices, but he's constantly making the bad. And he's not doing it, like, unintentionally. He's intentionally.
Exactly.
On purpose, you know, premeditated.
And whenever
choice.
he feels he's straying from that, he goes back to his corpse shrine and seeks help and guidance.
Right. Back
to the evil path. So it's like, I do have to throw in on the other side of that coin that because they are active choices, they don't seem to stem from his basic personality, he can at some point choose to be good in support of you theorists out there who think that he's going to end up killing Snoke. Yeah. But as it stands in Force Awakens, I would argue he is evil for the fact that he chooses to be.
Yep. I'm just excited to see what happens in this movie. Oh man, with that. Anyways, but yeah, so I think evil.
Yeah, evil.
I mean, there's nothing else I can. Again, these good intentions, these good things he's doing, but ultimately the choices just outweigh that. Mm-hmm. He's evil.
Okay. Now on Law versus Chaos, like, we're going to come out right and say this. We want to give you better quality videos, so we try to debate these to some extent before we film. I'm pretty sure you guys already suspected that anyways. So, like, when we were coming up with the argument for Law versus Chaos, like, online, people seem to support the fact that he's a chaotic evil character.
Yeah. I don't quite like that, though, because it's like, he's maybe, like, the unpredictability of his temper, but been making camp. But I see that more of like a flaw, not just an alignment issue. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you could be like a lawful good character, but you could have some anger management problems.
Yeah, it's like,
you know, that doesn't make you evil or chaotic or anything like that. It's just,
we were trying to set up an argument for this so we could give it to you guys, but there's just not much really there. Like, true, he decides not to go for the New Republic. He decides to rebel against the New Republic, but it's not because he feels they're evil. It's because Snoke told him to. But at the same time, he's not completely devoted to the First Order, so there's not really that lawful aspect. Like, true, he kills his own father, but it's because he's trying to follow the dark side. True, he's devoted to the dark side, but does the dark side even have a code? Like, there's no argument.
Like, there's like the Sith code, but he's not really following it that well.
Yeah, it's like,
you know, like... Yeah.
Like, does he have a code he follows? But is he actively trying to rebel against the code? Is he trying to do his own thing? No, he's kind of just trying to do the dark side. But there's just not really an argument, if you ask me. And like,
like there's a lot to go off of, like what we've been talking about, the morality aspect of him. But when it comes to like his ideas of law, I think maybe more will be revealed. You know, later.
I would believe that as well, but
right now,
stands right now, you can make little tidbit arguments, but nothing that's really more than circumstantial. And so, I think that we're just going to have to argue that he is neutral on that alignment, simply for the fact that there's nothing else to support either way.
Exactly. Maybe you guys can help us out. Maybe you have some good arguments.
Yeah, we're definitely just two people who can get it wrong. We've tried to establish this throughout all the different videos. Like, we do appreciate comments and what are your takes on this, because we honestly can't figure out anything on that for this guy. Yeah. But as it stands, with what we've got right now, without the next video, would you say neutral evil?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I agree with the evil. I wish there was more stuff to try to argue chaotic or lawful. I mean, like you said, there's some people very adamant that he's chaotic, but I just don't see it.
Me neither.
Because, you know...
Everything that they use to support the fact that he's chaotic, in my personal opinion...
They're weak arguments, yeah.
Not just weak, but completely circumstantial.
Exactly, yeah. And so, I think right now, we're going to set it as just neutral evil, so...
But again, once we watch the next movie, we plan on doing another one.
We may change entirely. He may become the good guy. You know? So,
but for now...
He become the lawful good... Fight the Empire!
But for now, neutral evil?
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, again, share your own opinions in the comments. We love to read these things because we love to hear other people's opinions. That's honestly the main reason we started this, because we thought it would be really fun to share our views and see what your views are.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And we got more coming, but we want to hear from you. We want to do people that you want us to do and to talk about. And so,
and just remember 3 base rules. We go over in every video, just real quickly. Remember, specific universe. We got to have something specific to go off of. And they're, like with Batman or like with the last time The Grinch, we had quite a bit to go off of, but there was many conflicts between the Grinch's arguments if you went off the books versus the movie. So we had to pick one or the other.
Yep. And also, we have to have a background. Yeah. It's very hard to do like a random NPC in a video game. There's no background and stuff like that. And
so, like, in honor of Knights of the Old Republic, like, you can live your character however you want. So we can't tell you what alignment he is because there's nothing specific to go off of.
Right, and of course, family portrait.
Yeah.
Keep that clean, so.
I mean, we're fine with doing animes and stuff like that, but at the same time, please, like, keep it clean. Like, nobody wants to be seeing that unless they're actively looking for it, and we don't want to deal with that, so.
Exactly. Yeah. But hey, thanks so much, guys. Yeah. Join us, Levels and Losers.
Yeah, and have a good night.
Thank you.